Up next, durian husks, waste or resource? Welcome back. Food, it's increasingly going to waste. According to the National Environment Agency, there's been a 40% rise in food wastage between 2007 and 2016, with only 14% being recycled. Adding to the food waste problem, the byproducts from the food manufacturing industry. Now, these contribute to pollution, and energy is spent to remove them. Chokenyu looks at ways that the food industry is turning these byproducts into food as well as other useful products. Are you enjoying that bowl of noodles? Now, what if you were told that 35 to 50% of the dough used in the noodles is actually made from waste wonton skin?
Wonton skin has two forms, the round form and the square form. So it's the round ones that also create a lot of this waste, because when they have a sheet of dough, they have to cut the round shapes, and whatever's at the edge are all the waste. So what we have done with these companies is to reuse this dough and try to incorporate them into noodles again.
No worries, it's perfectly safe, and your noodles will actually taste the same, or even better.
An interesting fact we found by adding this waste wonton skin is that it actually makes the noodle a bit more springy.
This is one example of how the industry is recycling waste during the food production stage.
A recent estimate from the Food and Agriculture Organization under the United Nations shows that 1/3 of primary food production actually end up in the food waste.
The idea here is to promote a circular economy, where instead of being thrown away, this food waste gets a second life.
We have to actually analyze whether they can be reutilized back into food applications or otherwise into non-food applications. So we have to make a measurement on that. And very importantly, we have to also analyze whether the product is actually contaminated. When the products are being contaminated, what we can do is we provide an alternative path. If we don't make use of them into food manufacturing, we can talk about building them into like non-edible applications.
Okara, a byproduct from manufacturing soy products, is one common food waste that has been subject to much research interest. This is because the amount of residual pulp left over from manufacturing soy products is huge. Estimates put it at about 30 tons a day, and that is in Singapore alone. Okara is also very high in protein. So far, the research has successfully produced food products from Okara. Some of the products include mock meat, cookies and other baked products, and even this peanut candy.
Using less peanuts, using a bit more of this soy, but it gives quite the similar texture to that of the peanut candy.
But there are challenges to using Okara waste as a food ingredient.
When you add it into bakery products like that, it actually makes the texture more tough, right? So different ways which we manage to do this is to use different amounts, or we actually try to dry it a little bit before we use it. We have to add other ingredients such as gluten, things like that, to make it more palatable.
Besides food products, there is research on converting soy pulp waste into animal feed.
We're taking the soy pulp and we're using fungi to convert its biomass into higher nutrient products. Essentially, these fungi have the enzymes that allow them to kind of unlock the nutrient and caloric content of the fiber, and then they're turning it into added value products. This research is quite at an early stage, so our target product initially is to produce supplements and additives for aquaculture feed.
The process of using fungi fermentation to unlock the nutrients in soya pulp is already happening in nature. Fungi are breaking down the leaves into fertilizers for the trees.
You can see this leaf that has this white material on it. This is this fungal material that's growing invasively over the leaf. These are filamentous cells, and so they're elongating and branching. And over time, the enzymes that they secrete are breaking down the leaf, and they're building their own body with it. And that material is much more digestible.
Researchers have also successfully used fermentation on spent grains, the byproduct from the beer brewing process.
They are treated currently just like soybean residue, either sent for burning or landfill. And the remaining nutrients have been largely neglected. So our technology allows the extraction of the nutrient using fermentation. And the remaining solid waste, we actually have the technology to extract the cellulose and develop biodegradable packaging materials.
NTU has applied the same method on the durian husk and seed. They've successfully extracted the cellulose from the durian husk to produce biodegradable clean film paper, which is used to wrap food products. Researchers have also managed to produce pectin, an ingredient in cosmetics masks, from the durian husk. With the durian seed, they've succeeded in producing a natural food stabilizer for probiotic foods. There is no end to the stuff that can be created from recycling the byproducts of food manufacturing. Cutleries, like forks and spoons, have been successfully made from used coffee grounds.
The whole idea was to also bring in what we call recycled plastics. So the combination of spent coffee grounds with recycled plastics could actually bring forth a material that it has a good flexibility that allows us to look into molding them into different products. So that leads to the birth of all the range of the cutleries that we have developed.
The Food Innovation and Resource Centre at Singapore Polytechnic used a combination of 30% used coffee grounds and 70% recycled plastics to produce these different cutleries. They can even make trays and membership cards. The same concept can be applied to used tea grounds and other food waste.
It can apply to many different types of food products, in fact. So other than tea, you can even look at, for example, some food waste that you generated, like rice husk, and different types of fibers as well.